Dawson Rider with you.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 11 for the US airings. So I did think this was a pretty solid episode. I thought it was a pretty decent mix of sort of some plot-driven stuff in terms of the villains and ongoing things like that, and a filler kind of character-driven plot. Because the two things you had going on was, as far as the filler goes, there was a plot about Devin getting a new VR headset because, did you guys know he likes video games? So he gets that, and then Ben and Betty basically accidentally break it while they have it for him. And then Zoe winds up taking the fall so that they don't get so mad at her. And then Devin gets mad at Zoe because he thinks she did it. And like, I thought that was kind of a sweet note for Zoe's character to take the fall for them. And I feel like it's kind of funny because you just know that she knows Ben and Betty are used to taking a lot of crap because they are usually the ones responsible. And so that's like the core filler plot, but then it ties into something else that's going on with like the main plot. I say main plot because like for the Rangers it's not like it's a huge story development, but it's something going on within the Ranger stuff. And they're setting up these little alarms that will let them know when there's Gigadrone activity and stuff like that. And that actually is present for a while, which is kind of nice. But they're setting those up, and like they each have somebody going to set a different one up, and Ben and Betty and Zoe are on a team and they get it set up, and then when they leave, the villains accidentally destroy it. Actually, it's kind of funny because they're aiming for something else and then they destroy it, which is funny because it's actually something they should probably be thinking about. I mean, I guess they never ended up caring so much about the Rangers having an alert to their Gigadrones, but that would have been actually a decent plan to take those out. Like, they didn't seem to know what those were about. But regardless, the villains destroy one of the monitors, and it happens to be the one that Ben and Betty were on duty for, and they're like, oh man, Ben and Betty, you just keep breaking stuff. And then that's the point when Zoe reveals, like, actually, they never broke the VR headset, I was just covering for them, and I know for a fact that they did not break this because I was there when they installed it, I saw it be completed, and we drove off and it was fine. So that was like the Rangers core plot. Then on the villain side, you have Roxy and Blaze are still in competition a bit. Blaze ends up screwing up at the beginning of the episode, and Roxy comes up with this plan. After seeing this technology Scrozzle's using to create a monster, there's all kinds of like tool time puns, and there's tool puns everywhere. And she creates a monster that can basically unmake the Rangers' weapons and stuff like that, which is a clever plan. Like, I liked it. It's kind of impractical in a way because you'd think there'd be other ways that they could use it even more effectively. Not impractical is not the right word, but I think you know what I mean. But I did like the idea of a villain plan that wasn't just, let's blow them up! Like, I like when the villain plans have a little bit something more to them that's like a little smart about an aspect of it instead of just straightforward, let's attack them. So I like that idea, and it did trip the Rangers up a couple times before they figured out how to stop them. Of like, not only did they destroy or not destroy, but unmake the weapons, but they also like unmade their transporters at one point. So I like that. I liked that it was the villains not only being proactive, but it was a little bit of a different plan. Not to mention, they did continue, it wasn't like majorly in the forefront, but it was obviously there, the plot about them trying to scan the Rangers' powers, which again I brought up multiple times in both reviews, in both timelines, the Australian timeline and this one, that I like that that's a present goal that's always there. It makes it feel like they're remembering stuff and there's a sense of continuity instead of them bringing up like a villain plot and then dropping it for like 5 episodes and then all of a sudden it's picked back up, almost like you could watch the episodes out of order. So I like that that was still there. Like, it was a good solid showing for the villains in terms of their continuing their plot to get the stuff, the Blaze and Roxy competition, and then Roxy's plan actually being kind of a smart one. I think I raised this question in my spoiler review discussion thing about if they used that like unmake ray on Gold and Silver's morphers, wouldn't they demorph because the morphers no longer online, since like it's both their morpher and their weapon? I was kind of curious about that, but I don't know. And you know, there's Zord battle action, we get some more looks at the Striker Zord and stuff like that. And then there's the kind of resolution at the end of like Devin's not mad at Zoe because she thought it was nice of her, but you know, it's not, shouldn't lie anyway. I mean, it's kind of like one of those moral ones, but I mean, you probably should lie in some situations. Overall, I did think the episode was enjoyable. Like I said, I thought it was a good balance. It wasn't like, oh my god, this episode's so good, but I thought it was a nice blend of sort of filler plots around the characters and some more villain plot driven stuff. I thought it was well balanced where it didn't feel fully like a filler. It just kind of felt like a solid episode. So I think for this timeline, Dawson, I'm gonna give this episode a 7.5. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, Don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for all my videos. And you can also buy your Team Roxy and Justice for Beast Bots shirts. The link is in the description. Anyway, again, Dawson Ryder, signing out.